quiet all at once, like it forgot our names. Just a heartbeat in the dark, still calling out the flame. I've seen love fade in empty rooms, under unforgiving light. I've watched good people learn to smile while breaking every night. I've buried words I never said, and prayers I couldn't keep, but something in my chest stayed awake when everything fell asleep. If lost is love with nowhere to go, then I still choose to let it flow. When everything falls, when the ground won't hold, when the weight of the world gets heavy on the soul. Through the fear, through the pain, through the dark we crawl. Love is what we hold. When everything falls, I've heard freedom in a whisper, from a voice they tried to drown. I've seen truth stand with empty hands, while lies wore the crown. They said faith was just a comfort for the weak and the afraid, but I've seen it raise the broken when hope was buried deep in grace. You can steal the air, the ground, the sky, but not the reason we still try. When everything falls, when the night won't end, when we're down to our last breath and still pretend. Through the loss, through the scars, through the rise and the stars, love is what we hold. When everything falls, if I don't make it to the morning light, tell them I believe that love was more than survival, more than just relief. Lift your eyes, don't close your heart. You were born to feel the flame. Every breath is an act of faith, every scar remembers your name. When everything falls, hear the sound we make, not a cry of surrender, but a vow we take. Through the fire, through the storm, through the rise and the fall, love is what we are. When everything falls, when the dust forgets our walls, and time lets go of all, love remains what we hold. When everything falls. The night feels heavier these days, like it's learned our names. Every promise ever made, still calling through the rain. I've seen love grow tired of waiting in rooms that never change. I've watched good hearts learn to smile while carrying the pain. I've buried words I should have said, and truths I couldn't say. But something in me never stopped believing we're not made this way. If we're still here after the fall, there must be meaning after all. I will love till the world learns love again. Stand my ground when the truth has no defense. Through the loss, through the fear, through the wounds we couldn't mend, I will love until the world learns love again. I've heard freedom in a heartbeat, running under lockdown doors. I've seen truth stand unprotected while fear was dressed for war. They told us faith was just a story for the weak and naive. But I've seen it raise the broken when hope refused to breathe. You can rule the night and day, but not the soul that won't obey. I will love when it's not safe to say, when belief feels foolish anyway. Through the fire, through the fall, through the rise and the bend, I will love until the world learns love again. If I'm gone before the morning light, let this be understood. I believed in mercy when nothing else felt good. Lift your eyes, don't bow your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of faith, every heart a quiet cry. We will love though the cost is high, though the years keep passing by. Through the scars, through the storms, through the weight we defend, we are more than what we lost, more than how it ends. We will love, we will rise until the world learns love again. When the noise has had its say and the dust forgets our names, love remains until the world learns love again. Till the world learns love again. came down without a sound, like it knew where we were weak. Every prayer we never spoke, still learning how to speak. I've seen love shake in empty rooms under unforgiving time. I've watched strong hearts carry grief like a quiet holy crime. I've lost the ones I swore I'd save. I've lost the road back home, but something in me stayed away when I felt most alone. If the dark is all we see, then the light is what we choose to be. We keep the light when the fire's almost gone, when the truth feels small and the night goes on. Through the loss, through the fear, through the weight we fight, we keep the I've heard freedom in a whisper from a voice they tried to break. I've seen truth stand with empty hands while fear decided our fate. They said faith was just a weakness for the ones who couldn't cope, but I've seen it pull the living from the rubble of their hope. You can steal the sky, the ground, the air, but not the love we choose to carry there. We keep the light when belief feels blind, when the cost of love is all we find. Through the scars, through the storm, through the endless night, we keep the If I fall before the morning comes, let this be understood. I believed in love and mercy when nothing else felt good. Lift your eyes, don't bow your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of faith, every heart a reason why. We keep the light, hear it rise in our chest. Love is not our weakness, it's the vow we protect. Through the fire, through the fall, through the darkest night, we are here, we are alive, we keep the light. When the world forgets our names, time releases its hold. The night is heavy on our shoulders, like a promise we forgot. Every road we ever walked led us here or led us lost. I've seen love fade in hospital light and bloom in a stranger's hand. I've learned that hope is not a shout, it's the quiet where you stand. I've tasted fear, I've swallowed pride, I've watched the brave fall down. But something keeps on rising up when everything burns to the ground. If we're broken, if we're torn, it just means we're still reborn. Yeah. As long as we still breathe, there's a reason to believe in the fire beneath the ash, in the love that doesn't leave. Through the loss, through the pain, through the nights we couldn't see, we are more than what they take. As long as we still breathe. I've heard freedom in a whisper, from a mouth they try to close. I've seen truth stand unprotected while the lies wore perfect clothes. They said faith was just a story for the weak and for the blind, but I've seen it pull the light from the deepest cracks in time. You can chain the hands of fate, but not the soul that learns to wait. Oh. As long as we still breathe, we are not defeated yet. Every scar is just a map of the battles we survived. From the silence to the scream, from the wound to the release, we will love, we will ride. As long as we still breathe. If I'm gone when morning comes, say I stood for something true, that love was never wasted. If it passed, it lied to you. Lift your eyes, don't bow your head. You were born to feel the sky. Every heart is an act of defiance, every breath a reason why. As long as we still breathe, feel the thunder in our chest. Love is not our weakness, it's the courage we protect. Through the fall, through the fire, through the cost of being free, we are here, we are alive. As long as we still breathe, when the world forgets our names and the stars fall in the sea, love remains. As long as we still breathe. As long as we still breathe. Night fell hard on everyone, like it always does. No answers written in the sky, just dust and blood. I've watched love fade in hospital light and rise in a stranger's eyes. I've seen good men learn to carry grief like a quiet, holy crime. I've lost the names I still speak to when the world turns cold and small. But something in me never learned how to stop standing tall. If we break, it means we tried. If we ache, it means a lie. Crashing down, when the truth is hard to find, when the world forgets our names and leaves us behind. Through the fire, through the fall, through the fear we can't outrun, love is the last thing standing. When everything else is gone, I've heard freedom in a whisper from a mouth they tried to close. I've seen truth stand unprotected while the lies wore perfect clothes. They said hope was just a weakness, faith a story we outgrow. But I've seen it pull the light from the deepest wounds we know. You can break the body down, but not the soul that won't bow. When the nights refuse to end, when the heart is almost done, when we're down to our last breath and nowhere left to run. Through the loss, through the pain, through the years that leave their mark, love is the last thing standing in the dark. If I fall before the morning, let this truth remain. That I believed in love and mercy, even in the rain. Lift your eyes, don't bend your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of fate, every heart a battle cry. When the ground is shaking hard, when the fire takes its toll, when the price of being free is written on the soul. Through the scars, through the years, through the fight we didn't plan, love is the last thing standing. We still stand. When the world has had its say and time slips through our hands, love remains. Last thing standing. The night arrived without a sound, like it always seems to do. Every road we ever trusted led us back to truth. I've seen love fade in hospital light and bloom in borrowed time. I've watched strong hearts and learned to bend without breaking what's inside. I've lost the words I should have said, the hands I couldn't hold, but nothing I have ever loved has learned how to grow old. If grief is love with nowhere to go, then let it burn, let it glow. Nothing dies that we love, it just changes its name. In the fire, in the dust, in the joy, in the pain, through the loss, through the fall, through the down above, nothing dies. Nothing dies that we love. I've heard freedom in a whisper from a voice they try to cage. I've seen truth stand unarmed on a loud and violent stage. They said faith was just a shelter for the weak who couldn't stand, but I've seen it turn the ashes back into a man. You can rule the land and sky, but not the reason we still try. Nothing dies that we love, it survives the years, in the scars we learn to carry, in the salt of tears, through the storm, through the cost, through the rise above. Nothing dies, nothing dies that we love. If I fall before the morning comes, let this be understood. I believed in love and mercy when nothing else felt good. Lift your eyes, don't bow your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of faith, every heart a battle cry. Nothing dies that we love, hear it rise in our chest. Love is not our weakness, it's the strength we protect. Through the fire, through the fall, through the nights we couldn't rise, we are here, we are alive. Nothing dies. When the world forgets our names and time takes what it can, love remains. Love remains. That we love. The night feels older than before, like it's seen us fall. Every dream we ever trusted pressed against the wall. I've seen love learn to whisper in rooms where hope ran thin. I've watched strong hearts carry silence like a second skin. I've lost the ones I swore I'd save. I've lost the road back home. But something in me never learned how to live on fear alone. If we're still standing after all, then something in us can't be small. Somewhere we are still free, still more than what we see, beyond the weight of all these years and everything they took from me. Through the loss, through the pain, through the nights we couldn't sleep, somewhere deep inside of us, somewhere we are still free. I've heard freedom in a whisper from a voice they tried to break. I've seen truth stand unprotected while fear decided fate. They said faith was just a comfort for the weak who couldn't cope. But I've seen it pull the living from the wreckage of their hope. You can lock the doors, draw the line, but not the soul that still says mine. Somewhere we are still free, still brave enough to believe that love is more than survival, more than a memory. Through the scars, through the storm, through the price of dignity, somewhere deep inside of us, somewhere we are still free. If I fall before the morning comes, let this be understood. I believed in love and mercy when nothing else felt good. Lift your eyes, don't bow your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of faith. Every heart refuses to die. Somewhere we are still free. Hear it rise in you and me. Not a dream we're chasing now, but a truth we choose to keep. Through the fire, through the fall, through the cost of being free, we are here, we are alive. Somewhere we are still free. When the world has had its say and time lets go of me, love remains. Somewhere we are still free. The night came down without a warning, like it always seems to do. Every road I thought I knew led me back to you. I've seen love break under I've seen it carry the weight. I've watched good hearts learn to bleed while waiting at heaven's gate. I've lost names I still whisper when the world goes quiet and cold. But something in me never learned how to let that fire grow old. If pain is proof we dare to feel, then this is how we know what's real. Still the fire remains through the wind and the rain, through the loss we couldn't heal, through the change. Love is more than the hurt, hope is more than the pain. Even broken, even worn, still the fire remains. I've heard freedom in a heartbeat, racing under locked doors. I've seen truth stand unarmed while fear was dressed for war. They said faith was just a story for the weak who couldn't cope. But I've seen it lift the dead from the rubble of their hope. You can silence every scream, but not the soul that still believes. Still the fire remains in the dark of our doubt, in the words we never said, but we shout through the fall, through the fight, through the long endless nights. We are more than what they break. Still the fire remains. If I fall before the sunrise, let this be understood. I believed in love and mercy when nothing else felt good. Lift your eyes, don't bend your spine. You were born to stand upright. Every breath is an act of faith, every heart a spark of light. Still the fire remains, hear it rise in our chest. Love is not our weakness, it's the strength we protect. Through the scars, through the years, through the cost of being free, we are here, we are alive. Still the fire didn't ask for permission. It just came and took its place, like every doubt we've ever known. Written on our face. I've seen love tremble in silence under unforgiving time. I've watched strong hearts learn to carry what they never left behind. I've lost the things that made me sure. I've lost the ones I'd say, but something in me still stood up when the world said behave. If we are broken, if we bleed, that's the shape of what we believe. This is the shape of what we believe, not the lies we're told to keep. It's the fire under the skin, when the soul won't sleep. Through the loss, through the fear, through the dark we couldn't leave, love is still the truth we choose, the shape of what we believe. I've heard freedom in a whisper, from a voice they try to cage. I've seen truth stand with empty hands on a loud and violent stage. They said faith was just a weakness, a crutch for those who fall. But I've seen it make the broken rise when nothing else would call. You can close the roads we run, but not the reason we become. This is the shape of what we believe, more than survival, more than grief. It's the choice to stand unarmed when the world has teeth. Through the scars, through the years, through the price of being free, love is still the truth we choose, the shape of what we believe. If I fall before the morning comes, say I stood for something real. The love was never just a word, but a wound that learned to heal. Lift your eyes, don't bow your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of faith, every heart a quiet cry. This is a shape of what we believe. Hear it rise in you and me, not a prayer for mercy now, but a vow we keep. Through the fire, through the fall, through the nights we couldn't see, we are here, we are alive. The shape of what we believe. When the world forgets our name, time takes everything, love remains. The shape of what we believe. breaks, like a question left unanswered. Every heart knows this moment, when the night feels endless. I walk through rooms of empty names, where love once filled the air. I've learned that loss is not the end, it's proof that someone cared. I've seen the truth wear dirty clothes, while lies were dressed in gold. Still something in my chest stood up and refused to be sold. If we are dust and borrowed time, and love is what we leave behind, this is where we stand, with our scars in the open, with our hearts still broken, but alive. This is who we are. We don't kneel to the darkness, we don't beg for forgiveness, for loving hard. Through the fire, through the fall, we believe in something more. This is where we stand. I've heard freedom call my name through a wall of fear and noise. I've watched a single honest voice outlast 1,000 louder choices. They told us hope was dangerous, faith too weak to save. But every dream they tried to kill learned how to misbehave. You can break the body, bend the law, but not the soul that says no more. This is where we stand, on the edge of tomorrow, with our grief and our sorrow, side by side. This is who we are, still in love with the sunrise, still in love with the fight, to stay alive. From the ashes, from the floor, we believe in something more. This is where we stand. If I'm gone when the morning comes, tell them I believe that love outlives the wound, and truth still breathes. Raise your hands not to surrender, but to feel the open sky. Every heart was born for more than just learning how to hide. This is where we stand, with our names unbroken, with our last words spoken in the light. This is who we are. Love is not a weakness, hope is not a crime, faith survives. forgets our plans, and time slips through our hands, love remains. This is where we stand. The night didn't ask our names, it just took what it could take. Left us standing in the dark with a choice we had to make. I've seen love grow tired of waiting in rooms that never change. I've watched good hearts learn to carry more than they could say. I've buried dreams I once believed would surely set me free, but something in my chest stayed warm, refused to turn to stone in me. If the world forgets what's true, we decide what we'll hold on to. We chose to stay human when the night had no end, when the cost of compassion was too heavy to defend. Through the loss, through the fear, through the years that left us bruised, we chose love, we chose hope, chose to stay human. I've heard freedom in a whisper, from a voice they tried to break. I've seen truth stand unprotected, while the liars felt safe. They said faith was just a weakness for the ones who couldn't fight, but I've seen it keep a candle burning through the longest night. You can rule with fear and flame, but you can't erase our names. We chose to stay human when surrender felt like peace, when survival begged us to forget what we believe. Through the scars, through the storms, through the lies we had to lose, we chose love, we chose hope, we chose to stay human. If I fall before the morning comes, let this truth remain. I believed in mercy when hatred felt like gain. Lift your eyes, don't bow your spine. You were born to face the sky. Every breath is an act of faith, every heart refuses to die. Choose to stay human, hear it rise in our chests. Love is not our weakness, it's the courage we protect. Through the fire, through the fall, through the price of being true, we are here, we are alive. We choose forced to stay human. The night came softly, then all at once, like it knew where to hurt. Every dream we ever trusted fell back to the dirt. I've seen love tremble in fragile hands under unforgiving light. I watched strong hearts learn how to break quietly every night. I've carried names I'll never speak, still echoing in my chest. But something in me never agreed that this was all we get. If pain is proof we dared to feel, then this is how we know what's real. We were made of more than fear, more than dust and time, more than all the things they break, more than just survive. Through the loss, through the fire, through the nights we can't ignore, we were made of The night came down like a closing door. No answers left to steal, just a heartbeat in the dark, asking what is real. I was raised on borrowed promises and prayers whispered through fear, taught to keep my head down low when the truth was standing here. I watched love walk through fire just to keep another warm. I've seen hope survive the storm when faith was badly torn. If pain is the cost of feeling alive, then I'll pay it every time. We were never meant to kneel, never meant to fade away. Love was written in our bones, hope was born to stay. Even shattered, even scarred, we are stronger than they feel. We were never meant to kneel. I've heard freedom in a whisper, in a cell with broken light. I've seen truth stand all alone against a screaming crowd of lies. Loss has carved its name in me like a river through the stone. But every tear I ever cried proved I wasn't cold. You can chain the hands of time, but not the soul, not the fire inside. We were never meant to kneel, never meant to lose our voice. Even silence is a scream when you finally make a choice. From the ashes, from the dust, from the wounds that never heal, we were never meant to kneel. If I fall before the dawn, tell them I believe the love outlives the grave and truth still breathes. Raise your hands, not in surrender, but to feel the open sky. Every heart is born a rebel, every soul is meant to fly. We were never meant to kneel, hear the thunder in our chests. Love is more than just survival, it's the brave defiance left. Through the loss, through the pain, through the nights we couldn't heal, we stand tall, we stand real. We were never meant to kneel. When the world forgets our names, this truth will still reveal. Love remains, and we were never meant to kneel. There's a quiet in the room tonight, like the world's holding its breath. Every shadow knows your name. Every silence tastes like regret. I've been walking on borrowed time, with a heart full of scars and rust. I learned too late that love's a fire you don't control, you trust. I've seen dreams fall like broken glass in the streets where the brave still stand. We lose, we bleed, we rise again. That's the truth of being human. If hope's a flame in the darkest night, then pain is just the proof we tried. When the light refuses to die in the ashes of our fear, I will stand, I will believe, even when the end feels near. Love is more than just goodbye, more than tears we can't deny. I hold on, I'll testify, when the light refuses to die. I've heard freedom cry in chains, heard faith whisper through the doubt. I watched truth stand unarmed while the lies were screaming loud. But there's a song in every soul that no power can erase. You can break the body, not the will, not the fire, not the faith. When I'm born just to survive, we're born to choose, to love, to fight. When the light refuses to die in the ruins of our past, I will love without retreat, make the moment last. Loss may carve us deep inside, but it cannot take our sky. I'll stand tall, I'll testify, when the light refuses to die. If I fall, remember this: I believed in something true, that a single heart can change the dark just by breaking through. Raise your voice, don't bow your head. You are more than what they say. Every wound becomes a wing when you choose to stay. When the light refuses to die, hear the whole world singing loud, from the lonely to the lost, from the silent to the proud. Love is still the great defiance, hold the last unbroken cry. I am yours and you are mine, when the light refuses to die. And if tomorrow burns away, this truth will still survive. Love remains alive.